Episode 3, A Clash of Morality and Perspective. In You Want a Real Costume, right? Invincible slows down to examine its heroes from a different lens. The episode isn't about pushing the plot forward, it's about making its characters sit with difficult truths. It challenges them with ethical dilemmas, forces them to confront their own contradictions, and asks whether reformation is truly possible. The episode opens with a familiar sight, a bank robbery. But this time, the perspective shifts. Instead of following the hero's arrival, we see things unfold from the criminal's point of view. Magmaniac and Tether Tyrant, two minor villains from previous seasons, attempt to pull off a heist. Yet, their silence speaks volumes. They aren't reveling in chaos, they don't take pleasure in scaring the innocent, especially not children. When Guardian member Bulletproof enters, his ominous, floating presence makes it clear. To them, superheroes are the monsters. What follows is an emotional 7-minute montage, cutting back and forth to a wilting flower, a metaphor for their struggles. They try to go straight, to find honest work, but society keeps shutting its doors in their faces. Desperation leads them back to crime, and when Mark, Invincible, arrives with Oliver, Kid Omni-Man, they don't see him as a hero. They see a looming, terrifying force. This moment forces Mark to reconsider his stance on reformed villains. He's already uneasy about working with ex-criminals like Doc Seismic and D.A. Sinclair, but when crime is framed as a consequence of material struggles rather than sheer evil, things become less black and white. The episode continues weaving smaller but equally significant conflicts. Adam Eve tries to balance her friendship with Amber now that she's dating Mark. She also attempts to mend her strained relationship with her parents, who still view her superhero career as a disappointment. Meanwhile, the Guardians of the Globe get rare moments of downtime, stepping outside their usual action-heavy roles. But the real heart of the show remains the Grayson family. Debbie, still struggling with her past, opens up to Paul on their date, revealing the full weight of her history. Her supervillain ex-husband and her children's dangerous double lives. Mark naturally is not thrilled, but his bigger problem lies closer to home. His brother, Oliver. When the Mauler twins return for another chaotic rampage, Oliver crosses a line. Without hesitation, he kills them in brutal fashion. Mark is horrified. Teaching Oliver patience and restraint means contradicting his own growing skepticism about reform. If he condemns Oliver's actions, he must also admit that not all villains are beyond redemption. His inability to reconcile these ideas only confuses his younger brother, deepening the divide between them. In a moment of dramatic irony, just as Mark is starting to find a sense of normalcy, Eve fully understands the impossible balance between his personal life and hero duties. He stops by Art's shop for a new costume. The dark blue suit symbolizes change, but it's only a superficial fix. The real issue runs much deeper. Oliver's morality is beginning to mirror their father's. In a clever meta-commentary on superhero storytelling, Oliver's casual approach to killing aligns him with many mainstream superheroes. It's not a sign of wisdom, but of arrested development, the idea that heroes, despite their power, often struggle to mature emotionally. But Mark doesn't have time to unpack this crisis. Before he can, his family is attacked. A drone explodes in their home, and the culprit is revealed, Angstrom Levy, the villain from last season, making his long-awaited return. His presence is bound to complicate everything Mark has been grappling with, setting the stage for an explosive continuation of Invincible's third season. This episode isn't just a breather, it's a masterful study of how perspective shapes morality. By turning the lens on criminals and forcing Mark to question his beliefs, You Want a Real Costume, right? Challenges what it truly means to be a hero. This version applies storytelling principles like character perspective shifts, thematic development, and